What's up guys, Chris here with another Edens Zero Manga Chapter review, and I gotta say, this one, I like it. It went by pretty quickly, it had some nice funny moments, it gave us what Connor can really add to the crew of the Edens Zero, and we also get set up for what could potentially happen next, as perhaps we might get another free-for-all once we reach Lendard, as with the end of the chapter, it seems like we will be going back to Lendard and the Kaede Cosmos, and starting that initial arc and confrontation. Before we get into the actual chapter, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos, it really does help. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon and Coffee accounts, link in the description and in the title card, if you want to support this channel more directly. And also my Instagram and Twitter accounts are down below as well, if you want to just follow me and see whatever I post, as well as showing updates on future videos if notifications does not work for you, as sometimes that is the case. Now with all that out of the way, let's get right into chapter 175, The Man, the Captain. And really quick, I just like this illustration of Hermit being cute and wholesome as always. It's just really nice to see. But anyway, we start off where we left off last week, as Hermit and Sister are telling everyone what's going on with the fact that the Union Army has them surrounded outside of Blue Garden, and well, it is more of a blockade according to Connor, but I like how they bring up the fact that they're in this mess because Connor wanted to leave the Edens Zero and not go to Lendard, and wanted to be away from the whole thing with Ziggy and everything. And I like how everyone is really just saying, we wouldn't be in this mess or at Blue Garden or have used up our fast travel if a selfish little baby did not just want us to take him away from the battlefield. And I like how she's just like, it's in the past. Connor's being like, yeah, in the background. Well, Wise just straight up saying that it wasn't in the past, it literally just happened. But yeah, Wise doesn't trust this guy, and even if Witch were still around, she would not hand over the ship's controls so easily. But Rebecca chimes in saying that she trusts him, despite everyone saying that she was the one that trusted him the least out of all of them. And Rebecca elaborates, and I like this because she doesn't trust Connor at all, but she trusts his piloting skills. So she knows for a fact that there is the potential, the very rare potential, of Connor being maybe a mole, or maybe just straight up with the experiences of Universe 2. She doesn't really have any trust in Connor anymore, but with the experiences in Universe 1, and with seeing him in action in Universe 2, with piloting the Edens 1, she believes in his piloting skills, so at the very least, they can trust in that if he does want to help them. And Connor takes the responsibility. He doesn't want to be the sort of adult that betrays the trust of these young ones. I like how we're also getting a little bit of commentary from Wise saying that Connor just didn't want to be anywhere near Lendard, as he just ran away from it, and that's where they're heading, and questioning what changed his mind. And Connor just straight up says, would it sound too idealistic to say that when I saw a lot of you fighting, it captured me old heart? As he grins, stating in his mind, it's the truth though. But yeah, the Edens Zero takes off and leaves the hangar, heading out to space, with Connor in the captain's chair. And once again, fast travel is not an option at the moment, so they can't really break through the barrier unless they have to blast their way through. But I like how Connor's honoring Shiki's wishes, as he doesn't want to fire on anyone who's not the enemy. And for them not to worry, he's the same in that regard, as we see the Union Army under Feather's control staring right at them, getting ready to fire. And really quick, I didn't realize it, but Racer class ships, and this one character, he just straight up Racer from Fairy Tail. Mashima, you clever son of a gun. I like how you can just straight up bring in characters from your other series and plop in identical looking characters as cameos and Easter eggs for whatever situation you want. I just find that funny when you notice it. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that. But yeah, anyway, the ships open fire at the ship, and Herman activates the Protect Matrix to shield them. And then Connor is looking at the ship's code, which Herman doesn't like, but Connor needs that to get a handle on the ship and to know what he can do with it. He launches the Edens Zero so fast that he literally goes right through their blockade, and they're going very fast, like faster than they thought they would. As Herman's wondering what Connor did, all he said was that he used all 8 of the ship's turbines at full throttle. Nothing more, nothing less. As they're questioning how that's even possible. It can't be controlled at that speed. The ship itself can't be controlled at that speed, and even if you put all 8 turbines on full throttle, it's impossible to go that fast. But Connor says, I'm controlling it. As the Armada continues to chase after the Edens Zero crew, but now this is when the real fight begins. The ships are gaining on them at incredible speeds, as their ether turbines are at full throttle and they can't go any faster, and that they'll catch up. But Connor straight up says, no, this ship can go faster, as he basically disconnects the horizontal stabilizer, or from what I can tell, the artificial gravity of the ship, since they're not going to be needing that, since you're going to be just swerving around through space, and multiplying operation results through this by connecting the power to the boosters. As Herman is stating that they can't do it, we then see the Edens Zero jump in speed much faster than what we saw again. A second time, going even faster than we initially thought. With the crew just being swung around without the artificial gravity and everything. And I just like this little panel of just Shiki using his gravity to stay in place while everyone's just holding on to Shiki so they don't go flying all over the place. I also find it kind of cute that Clean is holding onto Rebecca's leg as she's holding on to Shiki. That's kind of adorable and also very hilarious too. I like these types of comedic moments in these situations. I think Mashima's starting to has been getting a real handle of putting these comedic moments in high stakes situations or serious moments from time to time. So I'm liking it more and more as the series progresses. And I like we're getting the reaction of the Union Army stating that it's impossible for them to keep getting faster and faster, but they're still faster than them and they'll catch up to them in no time. But Connor says it doesn't matter how fast they are. They'll never catch up to them as they go right into a field of debris as the Union Army is squinting like, no way they're doing this. They're actually going into a debris field at that high speed. And then it's a suicide mission. But then we see the ship curve and swerve through that whole asteroid belt. Well, debris field, I'm just going to call it an asteroid belt. As Connor just straight up does this again and again, getting them right through this asteroid field, watch with everyone else on the ship just once again being thrown all over the place. As Connor states that they won't be following us. And Herman's just angry in the background saying that what he just did was way too dangerous and he could have gotten them killed. But then he gets an alert showing that Feather is hot on their trail using her ether gear to foresee their location if you pay attention to that panel. We also get to see how fast she is. She is incredibly fast, and she's also swerving through the asteroid belt, in all honesty, most likely thanks to her ether gear. This also comes to show us how talented Connor is as a pilot, as he doesn't seem that he has an ether gear at all. He's a regular human, but he's managing to swerve throughout this asteroid belt with ease, while Feather has to use her ether gear to basically follow their course and manage to catch up to them. And just like that, Connor says the fire. Shiki doesn't want to shoot, telling him not to shoot, but Connor says that that's not what he meant. He meant to destroy the asteroids, as he launches basically a ton of the ship's weapons, blasting apart most of the asteroid belt, as it appears that they might be using that debris to hide from Feather. Also, we get a full name of Feather's ether gear. It's called the Eye of Venus, not the Eye of God, but still, I kind of like this. It's really good, and it's possible this is a weaker version of Noah's ether gear. But yeah, Feather chases them through, and apparently they were using this to basically obstruct her path, not hide, as the asteroids keep getting in her way and she has to swerve around. And just like that, fast travel is fully charged, and they jump right back to the Kaede Cosmos. And I like the little comments from all the ship members, the fact that they would have been in a mess if it weren't for this guy, and now there's no point in going to Blue Garden at all now, since he's still on their ship. But Shiki just states that there was a point. They found an actual captain to pilot the ship. I mean, I think even though Shiki is the leader, I think he should be considered the captain, while Connor should just be the pilot. But potato, doesn't really matter right now with titles. But yeah, they are off to the Kaede Cosmos as we get, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm not gonna show the final panel of this chapter because again, I don't want to risk the potential of this going against guidelines. Yeah, I'm not going to show this panel, but basically the chapter ends with Holy, one of the Irrational States Interstellar, calling Feather, stating how they basically got away from her, and now it's time to trade places. As she states that Shiki and the others are heading to London in the Kaede Cosmos, and I also wonder how they're getting this information. Maybe Noah contacted them, maybe he foresaw something that the Union Army could help them in their endeavor against Ziggy if he gets them to interfere, I don't know. But anyway, Holy says it's her turn and that she'll launch an immaculate military operation, ending the chapter. And yeah, that was Edens Zero Chapter 175. I have to admit, that was really good, and I've really been enjoying Edens Zero, and this time skip has really been adding more and more to the story. I like the expansion with that Etherlink from last chapter. Now we got Connor officially joining the crew for now. I don't know if he's going to stay for the rest of the story, but I really do think that with Connor on the ship, they'll be able to get out of these types of situations and everything else. I also have to commend Mashima for his artwork in drawing that whole space race thing. I know for a fact that doing something like that with such detailed ships, especially with the Edens Zero as a whole, would be incredibly difficult and time consuming, but he managed to do it, and it looked really good. This chapter went by pretty quickly considering that it was just basically one giant race to get away from the Union Armada, and I like now that we're setting up another member of the Irrational States Interstellar. But again, this next arc with Leonard and Ziggy, could it be coming too soon? But that's all you had to say for this chapter. For all we know, Noah basically gave information to the Interstellar Army, as he is technically a government agent, saying where Shiki is going off to. So perhaps Holy is going to take advantage of the situation to try and take down Ziggy and then take down Shiki at the end. Who knows? And if it's stated that Elsie's there right now, 3 birds, 1 stone essentially getting rid of 3 problems if she can do this. And I'm curious to see what Holy's power actually is. How strong she is in general, because Feather, she doesn't seem like much of a fighter. She's more of an analytics character, and she's kind of been treated as a joke in these last 2 chapters, considering that the crew basically got rid of her without much trouble thanks to Connor and Shiki pinning her to the ground. But that's all I gotta say for this week's chapter. It was fun, it was pretty comedic in all things considered, and I liked how Connor helped get them out of that sticky situation, similar to what I was thinking about last chapter. But in ways that I did not expect, and once again, I commend Mashima for drawing all this out. It must have been really time consuming, but the man managed to do it. But yeah, with all that said and done, leave your thoughts and opinions down below on this chapter, and your theories and speculations for what could happen next. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. I do want to do more Edens Zero content this year, considering that I was not able to get my Edens Zero explain videos out at all due to other stuff going on in my life, and I'm sorry for basically breaking that promise. I really didn't want to get these videos out, but those are pretty good videos that I want to do. Then there's the fact that there's more information every time I try to record, so I had to keep pulling Edens Zero reviews and explaining videos due to that. But don't worry, I'll get some out this year, I promise. No cap, I will do all this. But with all that said and done, hope you guys have an awesome day.